ready for some football, some Texans Today party. Chuggs on the mic, beer boo, feeling right. Gonna get this playoff run started. Houston, stand up, January's here, tailgating at the Dome, drinking ice cold beer. It's time to make our stand, number one defense. Can't shut us down, Houston fans getting locked in. Texans Today and Chuggs bringing the heat. Crowd getting loud, stomping their feet. Subs growing wide, H's going up. Everyone now at the edge of their seat. It's playoff time in H-Town.
Woo! We are live here on Texans Today. Got a great show on tap for you all, and you don't notice, got the brand new shirt in for you. We have a good show on tap for you. Coming up, Texans keys to victory. We'll also look at the injury reports for both teams here on Wednesday. Also, the Patriots. If you didn't see my video that I dropped earlier, I'll let you know who they have. Could be a spy this week. Working for the other team. They have a man on the inside. I'll tell you who that is in just a moment. And at the end of today's show, we are going to do a Texans Today mailbag. So get those questions in, hashtag Texans or Super Chat to get on the program. Now, I want to know, where are you watching from down below in the comments section? I know we span far and wide. Let me know down below, where are you watching from? We are at Chat Sports HQ here in Dallas, Texas, but you know we're always repping the H here on Texans Today. Let me know where you watching. Big Luck says F the Pats, not rhythm. What it do? Tommy and the Buckeye watching from Ohio, Oklahoma from Carson, H-Town from Not Rhythm, Jack watching from Long Island, John watching from the H, Highlands, Texas for my guy Joe, Odessa from Lionheart, Tomball, Harrison Diggs, of course, watching from the H. Big Luck in San Antone. VA from Big Bison. California from Eric Diaz. Boston from Moises. Guessing that might be a Patriots fan tuning in for today's show. Let's see. We also got Georgia. Uncle is watching from home. Good place to watch. Casa Azul. Casa Azul, I actually told Mitch, and he looked and he said it wasn't blocked for you, so I can have him look again. But he was saying that on his end it didn't show that it was blocked, but we can take some more looks at it. Rosharon, Humble, San Antonio, Kentucky, Louisiana repping from Elder, PA in the building, Austin, Texas, whoop whoop in the building. How we doing? We got a good show on top for you today. My guy on the ones and twos, Mr. Jack Lauderay. How we doing, buddy?
What did I say before the game on Monday night? I said I hope we'd be here having a happy, congratulatory celebration live.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are. But that comes with a caveat.
Jack is a Patriots fan.
You're playing my Pats this week.
Jack is a Patriots fan. So we got maybe some inside intel from our guy Jack Lauderay here on Texans Today. We also have maybe our best Super Chat deals for Wednesday live shows that I've ever done, because we have an awesome giveaway coming up on Sunday. We're doing a Brian Cushing autograph raffle, and normally on game day it's going to be $10 for a ticket. Maybe I'll do 5, maybe I'll do 10. For today's show and today's show only, because I'm trying to get the hype going for this divisional round matchup up against the Pats, $2 Super Chat. I'm going to give you a ticket for our Sunday giveaway, because y'all are real ones. Y'all showed up on a Wednesday, so I really do appreciate all y'all checking in. Also, another great deal, $10 Venmo or Cash App. I'm going to give you 10 tickets today. If you send me a $10 Venmo or Cash App, also, if you go to the Score L3, I have my Venmo and Cash App on there to show all the people. $20, if you spend $20 today total on YouTube, that means you're going to get 10 Brian Cushing raffle tickets, and you get on the Texans Hall of Fame helmet. And if we get $100 in total today, then I'm going to do our mailbag section at the end of today's show with the helmet on. We'll do a helmet mailbag. So we'll get going on today's show. And I want to know from everybody out there, which Brian Cushing raffle, absolutely badass. Actually, the picture of Brian Cushing is him up against the Patriots, his autograph picture. I'm a little jealous that I didn't just get it for myself. You're not going to want to miss out on this. So let me know down in the comment section, though, what's your confidence level this week going up against the Pats? Let me know. Scale it 1 to 100. 1, no confidence at all. 100, you are the most confident person heading into Foxborough going up against the Patriots on Sunday. Let me know down in the comment section. 1 to 100, where are you at? Big Luck says 75. 9,000 from John McClain Chains. Amanda says 100. Big Bison says 70. Oscar 87. Lyndon says 43. Elder 79. Joe 90. Let's see. Not Rhythm says 85. Texas Vet. Betrad says 85. Omar Jackson going with that 100. I'm with Shaggy 51. I'm at an 80. I feel good about this game. I feel good about this defense. I mean, coming off maybe one of the best playoff performances that we've ever seen out of a defense. I mean, Aaron Rodgers put up 6 points up against this Texans defense. They scored more on defense than the Steelers did on offense. So I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this game. And like I said, I do feel somewhat good about this one. And we do have our first super chat coming in from Eric G. That means you get a raffle ticket on today's show. I'll also keep my my Venmo open as well in case anybody wants to get in on the deal over there. Eric G, the first person to get in a raffle ticket for our Brian Cushing autograph raffle. He says 1,000%. 1,000% for Eric G. All right. Well, hey, if you do send in a super chat like Eric G, feel free to add a question in for our mailbag later on the show. And also, you don't have to pay to get on the mailbag. You can just use hashtag Texans if you want to be a part of our mailbag. All you got to do in your comment, hashtag Texans, so producer Jack can throw it up on screen for you. Also, before we get going on today's show, some of y'all might have already ordered it. The new Texans Today t-shirts just came in, comfort colors. Let me know, now that you see it on your boy, grade my t-shirt, A, B, C, D, or F. How are we feeling about the new Texans Today t-shirts? I'm telling you, comfort colors, it is absolutely fits snug, fits nice. I mean, I like the way it sits on you. I think it's a better, fitting, a better feeling t-shirt than just the normal, t-shirts. Let me know down below. Grade the new Texans Today t-shirt, A, B, C, D, or F. And if you're trying to get one, if you haven't gotten one already, I'll make this deal to you. If you want to get the new Texans t-shirt, I have our guy Arnold. He's our graphic designer here at Chat Sports. If you order a Texans t-shirt today, I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 raffle tickets into the Brian Cushing raffle as well. If you haven't gotten it yet and you're like, hey, I want to get the new Texans Today t-shirt, I'm going to have my guy, Arnold. He sees all the orders that come in. If you order a t-shirt today, the new Texans Swarm Patrol t-shirt, I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 raffle tickets as well for the Brian Cushing autograph picture. Hey, Eric, the social team, you know what I have been seeing from the social team a ton? I've been seeing a ton of anime graphics from the social team. Somebody who works for the Houston Texans is a massive anime fan. I know that for the least. I know that. Kenneth J. Fair getting some raffle tickets in for the Brian Cushing autograph. Says, I'm at about a 65. If the O-line and CJ show up like they can and the D is its usual self, then it'll be a W, but I worry about the curse of Foxborough. I mean, me too, man. Me too. Lionheart Tony says, I'm buying 6. If you do that, I'm going to give you 30 tickets for the Brian Cushing raffle. I don't know if you're joking or serious, but hey, everybody that buys t-shirts, that helps us out a ton because that means I can make new t-shirts. I was talking to, Texans Today legend Melinda Allgood, trying to make a battle red t-shirt. I think that would be badass as well. But I'm always open to ideas. If we sell enough t-shirts, I'll be able to make more. I can get y'all's input, and we can make some more badass shirts. Bob Loves Texans says, I'm scared, Chuggs. I get that. I mean, it's the playoffs. It's win or go home. I wouldn't be lying if I told you I didn't have any nerves as well. I'm at an 80 because, any given Sunday, anything can happen. You don't know what the weather's going to be like just yet. There's a chance of rain, a chance of snow, a chance of sleet, kind of all mixed together around kickoff on Sunday. So you never know what can happen there. And then, it's, like I said, any given Sunday. So let's get it going. All right. Producer Jack is telling me right now, if we get to 69 likes, we're going to get into our first segment on today's program. So if you haven't already, hit that like button. And you know what? Because we got almost 200 people in the building, this is what I'm going to do. Like the video, spam those H's. I'm going to give away 2 free raffle tickets for the Brian Cushing raffle right now on the show. Eric G, I see you getting another one in right now. Eric G, I see you. So all you got to do, like the video, spam H. I'm giving away 2 free raffle tickets for the Brian Cushing autograph raffle. Once again, that's going to be on Sunday that we're doing that raffle. But let me see you. Who's in the building? Who's ready to go? It's playoff time in Texas, baby. You heard the intro music. This guy's in the chat all the time. He's a real one. I'm giving 1 free ticket to Joe Solis, and then I'm going to give this one to somebody who maybe, I don't know if you're new. I don't recognize the name as much, but Edgar Guerrero, 8690. I'm going to give you a free raffle ticket as well. Thanks for tuning in here to Texans today. Let me see. Somebody said just bought a shirt. Hector Cavazos. All right, I'm going to message my guy Arnold. Will you let me know anyone who buys it? All right, I just messaged him. He's going to let me know if you buy the Texans Today t-shirt today, you're also getting raffle tickets. So you not only get this badass t-shirt, it's comfort colors, it's comfy, it feels nice, be able to wear this out with the boys. You also get raffle tickets for the Brian Cushing raffle. So I just messaged my guy Arnold, and he'll let me know if you buy one of these t-shirts today. It comes in black. I got it in black. You can also get it in navy. You'll be able to get some free raffle tickets as well. All right, we got to 69 likes. Nice. So we're going to start today's program with my keys to victory and some injury updates from practice today. The Texans, they practiced today. So did the Patriots. I'll tell you who was out there, who wasn't for each team. Alberto Serrato, what's good? What's up? I'm going to the watch party on Sunday. It was pretty lit on Monday. Sorry for missing your life. Alberto, you never have to apologize for me. I want you to go out and have a good time. I want you to celebrate whenever the Texans are having a playoff game, having a good time. I want y'all to have a great time. I mean, it's, that's part of the fun of it. Being a fan, going out, celebrating with other fans. I do this show for people who aren't able to go to like cool watch parties like that, who aren't able to go out and do all that stuff, who may not have, the resources or whatever to go out to a bar or do whatever. But if you are able to, Alberto, heck yeah, I want you to go have a great time. I want you to lose your voice. I want you to scream like a crazy person, just like I would here on the stream. So never apologize for going out and having a good time, Alberto. You're an absolute real one, and man, I appreciate everything you do for the channel and always being a real one. Somebody said, where do I get the t-shirt? I'll put the link in there again. If you want to get the t-shirt, I just put the link in there. It's chatsports.com/swarm. So you can get them right now. It's comfort colors, so it's a little bit better of a material. Ted Matthews, fellow Falcons, class of 2015. Shout out, let's go. All right, hey, let's get it. We're fresh, we're clean. Class of 2015, Jack. You know what it is. Also, we got Joe Williams getting 10 raffle tickets from a Cash App. All right, Joe. I see you. All right, let's get into the first segment on today's show. Jared White says, so young. I know, right? Chuggs got any predictions? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on today's program. All right. As soon as I get the thumbs up from my producer, Mr. Jack Latteray, we'll get going on the first segment. Once again, it's going to be going over the Texans and Patriots injury reports, who practiced today, who didn't, and then I'm going to give you my keys to victory, what I think the Texans need to do on Sunday if they want to leave Foxborough with a massive dub. Producer Jack, one of the best in the biz, giving me that thumbs up. All right, so let's get into the first segment here on Texans Today.
Getting ready for some football, some Texans Today party.
Welcome into Texans Today, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and coming up on today's show, we are looking at the Texans and Patriots injury reports. I'm filming this on our live show. We go live every Wednesday at 3:30 Central Time. We're looking at who practiced, who didn't for both these teams on Wednesday, and also what does Houston need to do to beat New England? Divisional round matchup. Last time they played in the divisional round, I'll just say two words: Letterman Jackets. You know the rest, but this is an entirely different team. This is an entirely different situation. The Patriots, they no longer have Tom Brady. So this is a brand new ball game, and we all know once you get into the playoffs, you can throw the record books out of the window. What did we hear last week, all week long with the Steelers? 23 straight Monday Night Football home playoff wins. Texans have never won on the road. It's going to be cold outside. We heard all that last week. We heard all that BS. It does not matter. It does not matter. But you know what else we did last week, Producer Jack? And I've been doing it. The Texans, with the win last week, that's 10 straight dubs. We've done this for the past 10 weeks. So if it's not broke, we're not going to fix it. Don't jinx it. Let's get 600 likes on this video. If we do that, we're going to get a dub. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say we'll automatically get the dub, but I'm also not going to not say that we won't get the dub if we get to 600 likes. All I'm saying is the past 9 weeks, 10 weeks, we've gotten to 600 likes on this video. Let's not change that. Go down there and hit that thumbs up icon. All right, let's talk about what everybody wants to discuss here on Wednesday. Nico Collins not practicing on Wednesday. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is not good in terms of Nico Collins getting back out there on Sunday up against the New England Patriots. We all saw he suffered that concussion up against the Steelers in the wild card round, actually had to get carted off from the sidelines, was visibly shaken up, had a towel over his head. He looked uncomfortable exiting that game. And, this could be a big blow to this Texans team come Sunday, because for him to get back out there, it actually has nothing to do with him, nothing to do with the Texans. He has to basically go through this 5-phase protocol set by the NFL for him to return from a concussion. And obviously we knew with the C.J. Stroud saga earlier in the year how hard it might be for some people to get past this protocol. So first, symptom-limited activity. So basically it's going to be he needs to rest, avoid any physical contact, and cognitive activities, which increase the risk of aggravating symptoms. So first step is basically, same thing if you were sick at school, the nurse is like, you need to go home and get some rest. That's basically what they're going to say for the first step. So, step one, kind of clear already, right? He's getting rest. He obviously, is not at practice today. So step one, still there. So we need to get to step two, then to step 3, step 4, step 5. Step 2, aerobic exercise. In that phase, you basically have to be doing cardiovascular exercises under the supervision of the Texans medical staff. This includes, stationary bikes, stretching, treadmill, some of those, balancing, exercises, and they basically evaluate you to see how you do with that kind of limited stress environment, just working out. Basically, if you just went to a 24-hour fitness, went to a, Planet Fitness, wherever, just working out, that's the aerobic exercise, just doing things to kind of get your heart rate up and see how you handle just working out, just that. So step 3, football-specific exercises. Phase includes the cardiovascular exercises, so everything here. And then also just doing some football strength and training, doing some football drills on the sidelines, usually just catching balls from the jugs machine, this, that, and the other. See how you do with that one. Then you have non-contact training drills. So that, kind of mixes in everything, the non-contact football activities. That's kind of everything building off each other. And then he needs to have a full football activity day in clearance. So basically, he has to have a full day of practice where he is good to go, full contact, everything's good before he gets cleared. And the thing that kind of sucks is the Texans kind of got screwed by playing on Monday night, because that means he has one less day to prepare, one less day to get better, one less day to get healthy before their Sunday night football or Sunday football game up against New England. And the chances of him playing drastically go down with one less day to prepare, because he basically has to practice by Friday. He has to be out there at practice by Friday, or there is a 0% chance that Nico Collins will play. If he's not out there on the practice field by Friday, if he's not out there practicing, there's no way that he'll be ready to go up against the New England Patriots. And it sucks because, like I said, if the Texans played on Saturday, if they played on Sunday this past week, Nico Collins would have probably been able to at least have a better chance to get back out to the practice field by Friday. Because, like I said, that's 1 or 2 more days where he's able to rest, 1 or 2 more days where he's able to get his mind right and make sure that he's good to go. He doesn't get that opportunity. Now, I'll talk about somebody on the Patriots that gets that opportunity here in just a moment. But let me know. It was Christian Kirk, Captain Kirk, who was able to get it done for your Houston Texans up against the Steelers. But if Nico Collins can't go, who do you think steps up? Is it Christian Kirk again? Is it Jaden Higgins? Is it Jalen Knoll? Let me know down in the comment section. Is it Xavier Hutchinson, Dalton Schultz, Cade Stover? Is it the running backs, Woody Marks and Nick Chubb? Is it just C.J. Stroud in general? Let me know. Who steps up if Nico Collins isn't able to go? I'm looking down in the comment section. Give me your answer down below. All right. Other guys who are not practicing on Wednesday, Justin Watson, who also suffering from a concussion, who, not to diminish Justin Watson, but a little bit less of a worry for Texans fans because he really hasn't played much this season for this Texans team, hasn't been a major impact. And these two guys right here, DeMeco Ryans, Trent Brown, it's, they just put knee and ankle for both these guys. It's a rest day. They're both veterans. They're both older guys. DeMeco Ryans been on the injury report all year long for rest. So DeMeco Ryans, he is a former player. He knows how it goes whenever you're a veteran in this league. So he's given DeMeco Ryans and Trent Brown just rest days today. I fully expect both these guys to be back out there at practice on Thursday and Friday and be fully ready to go by Sunday. No worries there with those guys. But some good news on the injury front for your Houston Texans. Jawar Jordan returned to practice today. So he could make somewhat of an impact. Had a really good game up against the Cardinals. And then, kind of teetered off there. Didn't really make that much of an impact the last couple weeks of the season. But maybe as a kick returner. Like I said, I don't want Tremon Smith back there. Nothing against him. He's a decent third cornerback. But if I could have Jalen Knoll and Jawar Jordan back there to return, and if you actually noticed in that wild card game, they only had Jalen Knoll back there to return. They only had one guy. Before, they had him and Tremon Smith both back to return. Up against the Steelers, it was just Jalen Knoll. So maybe they mix some stuff in, getting 2 returners back there again with Jawar Jordan. But I also wouldn't mind if it was just Jalen Knoll back there to return up against the Patriots. Now, let's look at New England and their injuries. Now, I mentioned it would have helped Nico Collins and the Texans if they played on a Saturday, played it on a Sunday, a la Christian Gonzalez. He is also in concussion protocol. He is also going through those stages, but he is a step ahead of Nico Collins in terms of getting back out there on the field. If we're looking at those steps, he's at step 3 or 4 because he was already back out there on the field. He was in a red non-contact jersey, so obviously he's not to step 5, not to clearing already, but from what it looks like, I think Christian Gonzalez will be able to go up against the Texans on Sunday, pending how he continues to practice this week. Like I said, he's a step ahead of Nico Collins and, gets the luxury of having that extra day of rest because the Patriots played on Sunday. Khyiris Tonga is another massive name for this Patriots team. He's the big nose tackle for this Patriots team, and he's actually missed the past I think 2 or 3 weeks with a foot injury for this Patriots team. Did not play in the wild card game up against the Chargers. He is returning to practice, and if he's able to go on Sunday, that is a big addition to this Patriots front 7 on the defensive side, their front lineup, because he's the big boy in the middle. And as you'll see in my keys to victory later on, I think he could kind of hinder one of my big keys to victory for the Houston Texans if he's able to go and be 100% healthy for this Patriots squad. Other guys who did not practice for New England on Wednesday, Thayer Munford backup offensive lineman has been dealing with injuries. Not that big of a deal. Morgan Moses and Hunter Henry. I was told by our Patriots host, Brett Alper, that those guys were more of precautionary, just like I said about DeMeco Ryans and Trent Brown, that these guys are more of rest days, and he fully expects them to be ready to go, fully good to go on Sunday. Anthony Jennings, a backup outside linebacker, he's somebody who has been dealing with some injuries, got a little bit banged up this past week, and he said, not 50-50, but more of a chance that Anthony Jennings misses than Morgan Moses or Hunter Henry. Just some more names to look out for the rest of the week on the injury report. Now, coming up here in just a moment, I have keys to victory up against the Patriots. How can the Texans storm into Foxborough and claim a dub, get one step closer to that massive goal of hoisting a Lombardi trophy? I'll tell you here in just a moment, but I couldn't do today's show if it wasn't for our amazing sponsor, Prize Picks. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups like we're having this weekend, elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. It's super simple to play. All you do is just pick more or less on at least two player stats. If you get your picks right, you can cash in big time. And Prize Picks is now available in all 50 states. So join the millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app today. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. And I actually wanted to play a little Prize Picks with you because I looked on the app today. Woody Marks, who had over 100 yards up against the Steelers this past week, his projection, 59.5 rush yards up against the Patriots. I think they're kind of hating on my guy Woody. He had over 100 yards this past week up against the Steelers. They have a really good run defense. They have a really good defensive front. I thought he played really well. The offensive line run block really well. So you let me know. Do you think Prize Picks is tripping with their projection on Woody Marks? 59.5 rush yards? Give me an M for more. Give me an L for less. I better see. The comment section better look like with all the M's going down there because it should be more. They are 100% tripping. He had over 100 yards this past week up against the Steelers. You're telling me he's not going to get at least 60 yards against the Patriots? They are 100% tripping. Give me those M's down in the comment section because we all know he's going to get more than 59.5 rush yards, and that's why you got to play Prize Picks because if you feel as strongly as I do, why not go put in a lineup right now? Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. All right, let's get into my keys to victory, and this goes right into my first key to victory, talking about Woody Marks. We got to get the run game going up against New England because last week, that was a huge key for this Texans team going into Pittsburgh and claiming a dub. Woody Marks, as I mentioned, over 100 rush yards up against the Steelers. Nick Chubb, not too shabby himself, averaging 4.8 yards per carry on 10 rushes himself. A long of 20 for Woody Marks, and he did get that clutch touchdown in the fourth quarter to kind of ice it a little bit right before the Kalen Bullock interception return for a touchdown. Woody Marks ran it in the end zone. We're going to need him again. We're going to need Woody Marks to go out there and establish the run game, especially to help with this next key to victory, to help C.J. Stroud. He needs to play smart. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I was, just like a lot of y'all, a little disappointed in how C.J. Stroud played this past week. I think he needs to pick it up. He needs to play smart. He needs to figure it out between him and Jake Andrews with the snap. He needs to figure out, if a play is dead, give up on it. And now that I'm thinking of it, we actually still have those quotes in from C.J. Stroud and what he said earlier, today on Wednesday about all of the issues that they had on Monday night. This is what C.J. had to say about the Steelers game via my guy Aaron Wilson. We knew on tape that they did a good job of punching at the ball or while you're throwing, getting your throwing arm. So I tried to work on that throughout the week. They made plays. These playoff games, from my experience, they're going to make plays. We're going to make plays. It's all about moving forward and trying your best to flush it and keep going. We had some problems with the snaps, me catching them. Got to find a way to just catch them and take care of the ball. I just got to get it fixed. And you know what? I'm glad he took accountability and didn't just throw Jake Andrews under the bus. Because when you look back, there's actually some instances where some of those snaps, one time CJ Stroud wasn't even looking. Obviously, he was not ready for the snap. Another time, maybe it wasn't, 100% on Jake Andrews, but it was a little bit of a low rocket ball by him. He's got to figure out the snap as well. And he could have easily said, oh, yeah, Jake Andrews, he's got to get it to me. He's got to be able to, put it right here for me. He didn't do that. He said, I got to get better. I got to get it fixed. And one thing that DeMeco Ryans said after this game, which I definitely agree with CJ Stroud, is he had bad plays. He was able to bounce back and make some fantastic throws. 2 long balls to Christian Kirk that really helped this Texans team overcome those really bad mistakes, those bad errors that he made. He also kind of redeemed himself a little bit with those massive throws. So Stroud needs to play smart, clean it up. I mean, when you look at the stats for Stroud this past week up against the Steelers, if you take away the interception and the fumbles, not bad at all. So he just needs to play smart. He has all the physical tools. He has all the ability, the God-given ability to make every throw on the field. He's just got to use his head sometimes, right? If the play's dead, if there's a fumble, if whatever, if he's running around, just dirt it. Just get rid of it, Stroud. Like, be smarter. Be like, you know what? We live to go on another down. Don't, live and die and say we have to make a play every single down. If it's 2nd and 7, you don't have to miraculously run around and throw it across your body downfield. Just please play smarter up against the New England Patriots. Now, let's talk about the Patriots quarterback, Mr. Drake May. Because this past week, we were able to get to Aaron Rodgers with 4 guys. And I think we'll be able to do that again up against New England and their offensive line. You got to lock down May. He had a great year this season. I'm not going to lie, right? He was in the MVP discussion, in the MVP talks, his 2nd year out of North Carolina. The one thing, and a lot of y'all are going to laugh at me when I say this, producer Jack might get a chuckle out of this, sneaky athletic. Drake May, sneaky athletic. He's pretty good at being able to get out of the pocket, avoid the rush, and use his feet to gain extra yardage. Now, the pocket awareness does need to, pick up a little bit by May. He also had 2 fumbles up against the Chargers by just him not sensing the pressure, him not realizing somebody's behind him. But when he does see that pressure, when he realizes there's a guy chasing him down, he's actually got some wheels. He had a good amount of rush yards up against the Chargers, and if he's able to, pick up first downs with his legs, if, the Texans just get upfield with their edge rushers and kind of the middle opens and we're playing man coverage, he'll be able to pick up those 5 or 6, maybe 7 yards using his legs and pick up the first down, right? So not Aaron Rodgers, we didn't really have to worry about that. The 42-year-old, he's not going to scramble for 10 yards. Drake May, on the other hand, the young, we already had the old bull. Now we have to deal with the young calf. Drake May, he'll be able to use his feet and scramble up against the Texans on Sunday. We got to watch out for that with May. Next one. And the Texans, they did this maybe as good as they possibly could up against the Steelers. They took away the flat, and they took away the screen game. First drive, they threw a screen pass in the flat to DK Metcalf. He was lined up in the slot. It was a quick throw to DK. They were able to get like 15 yards off of it. Other than that, every throw that they tried, a bubble screen, a throw to Kenny Gainwell in the flat, trying to get their tight ends on a little, tight end bubble screen, Jalen Petrie, Azeez Al-Shire, they ate it up for breakfast. They ate it like Kobayashi. Yum, 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 yum. They were able to make sure that they weren't able to get any extra yardage by getting those cheap throws into the flat. And the Patriots, they like to do very similar stuff with their running backs. This two-headed monster, Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson. The rush yards, nothing to, vaunt at from their game against the Chargers. But I think both these guys really, really dangerous at catching the ball out of the backfield. Travion Henderson, more so than Ramondre Stevenson, but Ramondre, not bad at the screen game, not bad at, leaking out after, chipping, leaking out after pass protection, and getting the ball and picking up 5 or 6 yards after the play's done. So I think being able to stop those guys in the flat, and also they're going to, try to neutralize this Texans pass rush by getting the ball out quick. So you got to look at these receiving threats. Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, the 2 tight ends that the Patriots have, both really good. Obviously, former Texan Stephon Diggs, he is their, I would say, pseudo wide receiver 1 in New England, even though they have a pretty good wide receiver by committee there. Kayshon Boutte is really good. Demario Douglas, 2 guys that I don't even have up there that I think are really good. Kyle Williams is a really good receiver, and Eftim Chisholm III. He is also a good wide receiver for them. So they have a lot of receiving targets over there in New England. But first and foremost, if you want to get after May, you can't let him get the cheap stuff. You can't let him get those screen passes and those quick throws into the flat. You can't let that happen. And Jalen Petrie, he does that better than anybody. I think he's the best in the league at taking away the screen game, taking away those cheap throws underneath. He needs to do that again up against the New England Patriots. And then lastly, field position battle. Up against this team, obviously, the Texans' strength is their defense. We got to lean on that, right? We need Tommy Townsend to be able to, whenever we punt the ball, whenever we, aren't able to move the ball on offense, he's got to use his leg and be able to pin the Patriots deep and not give them good field position. Because the only way I see the Patriots scoring consistently up against the Texans is if they have great field position, via a turnover or via a bad punt from Tommy Townsend. So field position is going to be a massive, massive part of this game on Sunday, 2 o'clock Central Time, as the Texans head to Gillette Stadium and take on the New England Patriots in the divisional round with a chance to go to the AFC Championship game, something the Texans have never done in franchise history. The Patriots 3-point favorites going into Sunday. All right, that's all I have for you on today's show, folks. Give me a follow on X at Jeremy Chuggs. My DMs are always open. And if you made it to the end of the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button for free Texans content all year long. All right, first show in the books. Let me know, what's your biggest key to victory up against the Patriots? Did I miss something? Was I, tripping on something? Did I get anything wrong? Let me know down in the comments section. Give me your thoughts on what your biggest key to victory is over the Patriots, and maybe did I misspeak? Did I say something wrong? Let me know down below. Bada bing, they're not building a new stadium, just renovating NRG. Yep, that is true. They are just renovating NRG. Oh, nice. All right. Okay, cool. Yep, nothing new there. Nothing new there. Let me see what y'all are saying down in the below in the comment section. Defense stopping the QB scramble. Yep, Harrison, that was one of my big ones, especially with Drake May. Don't you remember Bud Adams and our good old Oilers from Bada Bing? Yeah, I talked about him last week. It was a real revenge game for the city of Houston up against Pittsburgh. Getting their get back, I would say, up against the Steelers, dating back to that 1979 AFC Championship game. If you know Mike Renfro, he caught it. Let me check. We also got Alberto Serrato getting in on our deal today with the $10 Venmo. My guy, Alberto Serrato. I got you, buddy. I got you. Jack, what were you saying? You can pop up on screen if you want to say something to the people. My guy Jack Lauderay, he's a Patriots fan. He was clocking some of y'all in the comment section. I was just saying I'm gonna remember some of the comments I'm seeing here. I'm gonna remember some of the names, and I bet you everybody in the chat's gonna remember this from Jack Lauderay on next Wednesday.
Well, but I'm the producer, so they know I'm gonna be here.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing: is I'm gonna be looking.
You have nowhere to hide.
I don't have anywhere to hide. I think the Texans are a good team. I genuinely believe that. I think they got the best defense in the league. I'm not saying F the Texans, screw the Texans. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
But I'll remember.
I'll
remember.
I'm glad you have a memory.
I'll remember some of these names.
I'm glad you have a memory, Jack.
And yeah.
Hey, Jack's the enemy this week. Can we get some F Jacks in the comment section?
Oh, come on.
Can we get some F Jacks? He's the enemy this week.
You want to talk about that? You want to talk about how I got these graphics built real quick so we can get live? You want to talk about all that? Come on.
Can we get some Hey, he's the enemy this week. Let him know. Let him hear you down below. He's clocking y'all. He's trying to talk a lot of mess. He's saying he's going to remember y'all next week. So let him know that you'll remember him too.
Hey, look.
Let him know.
If it weren't for me, we wouldn't be live right now.
Hey, that's fine. Let him know though.
I'll take the smoke. I don't care. Let's let the play on the field talk. Let the play on the field talk.
Harrison Diggs, let him know. Barbecue over clam chowder every day of the week.
Well, I actually agree.
Barbecue over clam chowder every day of the week.
I actually agree with that one.
Alvin says, "Hey Jack, I respect you, but I got to listen to Chuggs. F Jack."
It's okay. Hey, that's respect. If you're respectful, that was respectful. I'll take that one. I'll take that one.
I will also say, Hector Cavazos, Bradley Weber, Dominique Twyman, all y'all are getting 5 tickets for the Brian Cushing raffle because you got the new T-shirt. Also, our Super Chat menu on today's show, which the deals, I'm giving y'all great deals because y'all showed up here on a Wednesday live. The deals are not going to be as good on Sunday whenever we're live for the game. So if you want a chance to get the Brian Cushing autograph picture, it's Brian Cushing sacking I think it's him sacking Brian Hoyer whenever he was a member of the New England Patriots. It's an autograph picture by Brian Cushing. Today and today only. These are special deals for our Wednesday live show. A $2 Super Chat gets you 1 raffle ticket. If you want the best bang for your buck, a $10 Venmo or Cash App gets you 10 tickets. And if you like my new Swarm Patrol t-shirt, I'll put the link in the chat one more time. I already saw Hector, Bradley, and Dominique. Y'all got your t-shirts today, so that means y'all are also getting tickets for the raffle. If you want to get a t-shirt and get in on the raffle at the same time, I have our graphic designer Arnold. He's checking our website right now. If you get a t-shirt today, you'll also get 5 tickets for the Brian Cushing raffle on Sunday. So a little 2 birds, 1 stone situation.
I do want to say I respect this chat. Very, very respectful chat. Whereas I'm so used to battling fellow Red Sox fans every day that are just fighting with me. And I'm we're on the same side here. Whereas Texans fans are very respectful. I do just want to say,
unlike Patriots fans,
I do just want to say from Bada Bing, 86-year World Series drought, curse the Bambino, then we won 4. So we won 4 World Series since 2000. The most of any team. I'm doing great. I don't know.
Yeah, but they were only able to win their last one because they poached one of our coaches.
Alex Cora's my manager, man.
Yeah.
Alex Cora's my manager, man.
Uh-huh.
Hey, now we both don't have Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
So
something we have in common. All right, here's our Super Chat menu, but next up, we're going to get into our last segment on today's show. We're going to be doing a mailbag, so you still have a chance to get in. You can either use hashtag Texans, or if you Super Chat with a question, that will be guaranteed to get on the mailbag portion of our show today. This is going to be the last segment, just a two segment live today. I put out a video this morning. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and go check it out. Me and Jack, we made a video about 3 hours ago that went out on the channel. So go check that out if you haven't already. We'll be able to. Is this another new Super Chat? Okay, yeah. We can use that for the mailbag. Eric G, I see your other Super Chat. We'll use that for the mailbag as well. As we do have Chris Lauderay in the chat. Very respectful. Nice. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to put the link to the t-shirt in there one more time. Like I said, if you want to get 5 raffle tickets and get our brand new Swarm Patrol t-shirt, it's comfort colors. So, Jack felt it today. It's a little bit nicer quality t-shirt.
Well, let's clarify. I didn't feel that specific one that you're wearing. I did feel
the comfort color. Well,
another one that we have.
And
yes.
Jack actually huge fan of Comfort Colors. I heard you got the Comfort Colors jacket that Chat Sports dropped.
Yes. It's called, do you know what it's called? Mm-mm. This is an exclusive. So nobody say this anywhere else. This is a Texans Today exclusive. It's called the Jack.
That's kind of lit.
That's what Arnold called it, because I was part of the process of designing it.
I like the design as well. Renee Gomez getting 10 tickets. I see you, Renee, sending in a Cash App to get some tickets in for the Brian Cushing raffle. And my girl Melinda Allgood's in the chat as well. She got her t-shirt today. She loves it as well. So if you want to get the brand new Swarm Patrol t-shirt, like I said, if we sell more of these t-shirts, if you don't like it, you don't have to get it. We're going to be dropping more t-shirts hopefully in the near future. But if you do like this t-shirt, if you go out and buy it, it'll help us a ton, and it'll help convince my bosses to help us maybe make some more t-shirts. I know Melinda was talking about possibly doing a Battle Red t-shirt. I love that idea. Maybe doing a Nico Collins t-shirt. I want to maybe do a Will Anderson Jr. Terminator t-shirt. I have a lot of good ideas. But to be able to make more, we got to first sell this one a little bit. Just dropped 2 weeks ago. So if you want a chance to get some more tickets and get the t-shirt, now's a great opportunity. 2 birds, 1 stone. All right. We got 230 people rocking and rolling in the chat. If you don't know how to get on the mailbag, look at Harrison Diggs. Look at Travis B. Great examples of questions right there. All you got to do, hashtag Texans in your comment, and then put whatever you'd like. Any comment about this game, about the NFL. It doesn't have to be about this Texans-Patriots game either. It could be about the Texans. It could be about whatever. So make sure you use that hashtag Texans so producer Jack can find it and throw it up on screen. And like I said, if you want to super chat, a little 2 birds, 1 stone action with that too, because you get up on our mailbag and you get raffle tickets for the Brian Cushing autographed picture that we're going to do on Sunday. What were you saying, Alberto? We need a t-shirt with your face on it, Chuggs. Alberto, I was thinking of doing a Chuggs Life t-shirt. Chug Life. Let me know what you think about, Chug Life. That's a dumb idea. That's a dumb idea. But it has crossed my mind. Maybe out at the bars is whenever I thought about that. Maybe not. You be the judge of how good that idea is. But yeah, we'll be able to make some more fun ideas. We'll be able to make some more fun t-shirts if we sell this one out. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure anybody who likes this design, and like I said, if you don't like it, if it's not for you, don't feel pressure to buy it. I want you to wear something that you like. I want you to buy something that you would go out and wear, out at the bars, or wear, with your friends, or wear, just out and about throughout your day. Like I'll wear this on a Saturday or Sunday, just going out to, go shop and do whatever. So if you want this t-shirt, just dropped. Appreciate it a ton. Appreciate it a ton. All right. I think we're all set. We'll be able to, I don't know. Maybe we have something there. Maybe we have something there, Jack. Jack's giving me the thumbs up that we have enough questions, but you still have a chance. If Jack sees any questions that are really good, he's going to add them on to our mailbag show. So keep on asking those questions. Hashtag Texans in the comment section, or you can super chat to make sure Jack throws it up on there, that Patriots fan over there. I don't hate it. I'll say that. All right. Let's get into our mailbag portion of the show, and then we'll let you go on with the rest of this beautiful Wednesday here on Texans Today. Let's get it here with our mailbag show.
Getting ready for some football, some Texans Today party.
Welcome into Texans Today. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and coming up on today's show, we have a Texans Today mailbag. All of these questions are from our live show on January 4th, 2026. It is now 2026. I know I got clowned last week because it still said 2025. That's on me. I know it's a new year thing. You know, the first week of January, it's still technically 2025. So we're all good. But now we are in 2026. All the questions are from our Wednesday live show, from our loyal subscribers who tuned in. We go live every Wednesday at 3:30 Central Time. And if you are still watching this live, hashtag Texans or Super Chat to get featured on the program. And if you're not watching this live, well, make sure you do turn up every Wednesday, 3:30 Central Time with me, my guy, producer Jack Lauderay, holding it down on the ones and twos. We're live every single Wednesday for all you Texans fans. Let's get into the first Super Chat on today's show from, all right, I'm going to try this one. Kwisatz Hagendaz. Maybe. We'll see. I'm at about a 65. So this was a question that I asked earlier on the live show. Scale of 1 to 100. How confident are you? They said, I'm about a 65. If the offensive line and CJ show up like they can, and the D is its usual self, then it'll be a W. But I worry about the curse of Foxborough. I'll say this. I'm done worrying about, I'm done worrying about streaks. I'm done worrying about curses. I'm done worrying about this, that, or the other. Because that's all I heard last week. The Steelers, they haven't lost a Monday Night Football game. The Texans, they've never won a road playoff game. C.J. Stroud, he can't play in the cold. He can't win in the cold. The Texans, they can't handle anything under 32 degrees. I've heard it all. And I'm not letting that stop this team. I'm not letting that stop my fandom for the Houston Texans, rooting them on this Sunday up against the New England Patriots. And if you remember the last time the Texans team actually went to Gillette Stadium, pretty good result. I believe that was Drake May's first start in his NFL career, and it did not go that well for Mr. May. So if you're wondering if I'm worried about going to Foxborough, I'm at about an 80 with my confidence level. Obviously, any given Sunday, anything can happen, but I believe in this Texans team, and I believe in this Texans defense. All right, Eric G., you gotta remember, though, May never faced a D like this. The thing is, he did last year, and he folded. Not saying, he's definitely gotten better. He's definitely improved. He's definitely, a year older, a year wiser, a year more experience under his belt. And, he looked good this year, was in MVP talks all throughout the season. He's a great quarterback. But, yes, this defense is different. This is a difference-making defense. And if they can do what they did to Aaron Rodgers last week, he put up the least amount of points he's ever put up in his entire career in the playoffs. With 6 points. The Texans defense outscored the Steelers offense by scoring 14 up against Pittsburgh. I believe in this Texans defense to show up and show out once again. We got another super chat that just says, let's effing go. I agree. Let's freaking go. And then Jason Dixon, one of the MVPs from our live show on Monday night, says, we want Houston. No, you don't. Love it. Love it. That's exactly what the Steelers were chanting after beating the Ravens in Week 18. And I think they definitely regret saying that they want Houston because they got all of Houston on Monday night, and they didn't love what happened. H-Town checking in. Hashtag Texans, are the Titans hiring Mike McDaniel, and would that be a good move? I actually do think it would be a really good move. I do think it would be a really good move by the Tennessee Titans. And I think Mike McDaniel, pairing him up with a young quarterback in Cam Ward, might be a slam dunk hire by Tennessee because, they're not going to get the top guy. They're not going to get a Harbaugh. They're not going to get a Tomlin. They might not even get a Stefanski. The top guys in this head coaching cycle, I don't think they're going to get Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator, who, by the way, is getting interviewed by every single team that has head coaching vacancies. They're not going to be in contention for the very top guy. But somebody like a Mike McDaniel, I think makes a ton of sense for Tennessee with Cam Ward. Still warmer weather for Mike McDaniel, who we're talking about people who can't handle the cold. Mike McDaniel notoriously cannot handle the cold. I would say that would be a good hire by them. And this is why he's one of the best in the biz. Producer Jack coming up with this question on the fly. Who do you think will be better in 2026? Because I think as we stand right now, if we had to project for next season, I think the top two teams are the same two teams that were at the top of the AFC South this year, the Jags and the Texans. But the two teams that finished third and fourth, the Colts and the Titans, Who do you think will be better next year? Do you think it'll be the Colts type C? Do you think it'll be the Titans type T? Let me know down in the comment section, who do you think will be better in 2026? I actually think it'll be the Titans. Cam Ward, I thought, showed a lot of promise towards the end of the year. I thought he looked good in the final stretch for Tennessee. And the big question is, who's going to be the Colts quarterback? Daniel Jones had an Achilles injury. I don't know if he'll be able to go week 1 for Indianapolis, or he's also a free agent, so they have to also re-sign him. How is that contract even going to look between a Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts? Will they go out and get, a quarterback that's in the trade market? I don't know, maybe a, Kyler Murray, a Tua Tagovailoa, a Kirk Cousins, a Geno Smith. I don't know. Who are they going to have? I think you have a better base with Tennessee. If they're able to draft good this year, I think they'll be a little bit better than they were this year, and I think they're going to be better than the Colts in 2026. Obviously, that's a lot of projections because that's, looking about 7 months into the future. So we'll have to see how both those teams handle the offseason. Amanda, Chuggs, with Collins likely out, do you see the rookie stepping up and being what we need to get the dub? Great question, Amanda. I believe checking in from Madison, Wisconsin. Always checking in on our live shows. Appreciate you, Amanda, for always tuning in. Yes, I think the rookie's got to step up big time. Jaden Higgins, if we remember that first drive of the second half up against the Steelers, right? The Texans were moving the ball down the field with ease. And you know who was a big part of that drive before C.J. Stroud threw an interception in the red zone that kind of ruined all that momentum? It was Jaden Higgins. He made 2 fantastic catches on that drive, and I think we kind of forget about that just a little bit because it ended with an interception on that drive. But Jaden Higgins looked really good, and, obviously we'll need to get Jalen Noel a little bit involved, but look up against the Chargers, right? The 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, Jaden Higgins on a deep ball, Jalen Noel with a deep ball. The Iowa State boys, they can definitely ball down in H-Town, and you add in their third, Xavier Hutchinson. He's kind of like a sneaky X factor for this team because he makes some big plays as well. He made a really good catch up against the Steelers. I think the Iowa State trio will have to do really good. And, if we can get another performance like we did up against the Steelers from Christian Kirk, I think the Texans will be really, really well set off on the wide receiver front if they can just all kind of show up in that instance. But maybe the biggest person that needs to step up is Dalton Schultz. He is C.J. Stroud's safety blanket. He's the tight end. He had a really good season with the Houston Texans this year. So if he's able to step up and be that safety blanket once again for Stroud, especially if he's getting pressured, I think that'll be huge for this Texans offense because, you're right, Amanda. Nico Collins likely out. We'll have to see if he's able to, clear concussion protocol. Once again, filming this on Wednesday. He did not practice, so we'll have to see how that plays out the rest of the week. Bob loves Texans. I think your name used to be Bob Loves Meatballs, if I remember. But Bob Loves Texans, a really good name as well. Jake Andrews is making me angry. Some snaps he shouldn't have snapped. I agree. And I mentioned earlier on my live show that, this showed some great character and great leadership by C.J. Stroud, not throwing Jake Andrews under the bus. Because he definitely could have been like, yeah, some of those snaps were absolute dog crap up against the Steelers, and that's the reason why I fumbled them. But he didn't. He said, I got to be better. I got to be more attentive. I got to be able to catch those snaps. Jake Andrews still young, and he does have ties with our coaching staff, with our offensive line coach, Cole Popovich. I'd be lying if I didn't say I really want the Texans to go out and get another center or another interior offensive lineman in the draft or in free agency this offseason. The number one guy I'm looking at, and if y'all are watching the national championship game on Monday between Indiana and Oregon, I want you to watch the Indiana center, Pat Coogan, formerly of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I think he would be a slam dunk pick by the Houston Texans in round 2 or round 3. Remember, the Texans, they have 2 second-round picks because they have one from Washington from the Laramie Tunsil trade. Watch that game between Indiana and, did I say Indiana and Miami? It's Indiana and Miami on Monday night. Yeah, not Oregon. I see people already throw the tomatoes in the chat. Tomato. Jeremy messed up. Yeah, it's Indiana and Miami in Miami. Basically a home game for the Hurricanes, the U. Watch the Indiana center, especially against Miami's defensive line. I want him to be a Texan so freaking bad. Watch that game, and you'll see exactly why I want that to happen. But I would love for the Texans to go ahead and go get another interior offensive lineman in the off season. All right, we have some more questions coming up in just one moment, but couldn't do today's show if it wasn't for our amazing sponsors over at Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. Join the millions upon millions of users and sign up today for America's #1 fantasy sports app. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new, well, that can be hard. But in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right with these high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend. And stress on the high pressure on that one. Elite hoops action, it's happening almost every night. The action, it never stops. And on Prize Picks, they let you take control. This is the lineup that I'm rolling with for this weekend. I feel pretty confident. You know, I talked about Amanda Pearl, people who need to step up in this game. I meant what I said. I'm literally putting my money where my mouth is with this. I have Dalton Schultz getting into the end zone. More on the rushing and receiving touchdowns. I'm using one of their new features called Stacks as well. You can choose one player, go multiple projections up to 3. I have Drake May, so I'm going more on the interceptions, less on the pass yards. Obviously, you see a theme here. I'm rooting for one team in particular. And then I'm going with Jaden Higgins, more on the receiving yards. You can copy my lineup, which, by the way, I won my lineup up against the Steelers last week, so you might want to go ahead and use my lineup again. You could use it or make your own. Just do it with our friends over at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All that information down in the comment section and description of today's show. Hourglass, #Texans. Whatever happened to the legal stuff with Diggs and that D lineman for the Pats? Great question. That's a great question, Hourglass. The thing is, they kind of got out scot-free. And maybe scot-free isn't the right answer with that. But Stephon Diggs, fortunately, you know, his arraignment was set for next week. And, you know, by the power of, I'll just say the power of money, the fact that he has a lot of money, they were able to move that court date a couple months down the road. So kicking that can a little bit down the road. Christian Barmore, kind of same thing. They're kind of stalling out, making sure this legal stuff doesn't, you know, affect their playoff run, and they don't have to deal with the repercussions in the offseason. Is it fair? Of course it's not fair, because, you know, any normal person like you and me, if we had these accusations, if we had this stuff going on with us, we wouldn't be able to be like, oh, you know what, I actually have a really big January going on, so let's go ahead and move my court down, move all this stuff down the road. We'll deal with that in the summer. We'll go ahead and deal with that in the summer. Kind of BS if you ask me, but, you know, I'm just somebody who loves women and respects them, unlike some people. So we'll see what ends up happening. Obviously, innocent until proven guilty. I'll say, you know, on this one, probably Diggs seems a little bit more innocent than the other, and Christian Barmore, but, you know, that's not my place to judge. I am just a content creator on YouTube. I am not a part of our judicial system, so we'll have to see how that plays out in the summer. Good question, because Stephon Diggs, technically, you know, former Houston Texan Stephon Diggs, playing for the New England Patriots this Sunday on Prize Picks. We just talked about Prize Picks. That's funny enough. 49.5 receiving yards for Stephon Diggs up against the Texans is his projection. What do you think? Are you going more? You going less for Stephon Diggs? Let me know down in the comments section. Let me know more or less than 49.5 yards for Stephon Diggs up against Houston. I'll be looking down below. I'll be looking down below in the comment section. Oh, I want to go less, but I think Diggs could end up getting around that 50. I think that's a great projection by Prize Picks. I'm so on the fence about this, because I could see them trying to target Diggs because, you know, as we get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, the guys who are going to show up are the guys who have been there before, the guys who have proven themselves, and guys who have skins on the wall. And who else on this wide receiver core for the New England Patriots resembles that more than Stephon Diggs? Everybody else is pretty young and unproven. Efton Chisholm III, Kyle Williams, Kayshon Boutte, Demario Douglas, Pop Douglas as they call him. all 4 of those guys haven't really been there before, right? They haven't, had their feet held to the fire. Stephon Diggs has. He's gone on playoff runs before with the Buffalo Bills, with the Minnesota Vikings. He's been there. He's done that. So if I could see anybody on the Patriots having a decent receiving game up against the Texans, unfortunately, I do think it's the former Texan, Stephon Diggs. Next up, Shaggy, it wasn't me. Hashtag Texans. After seeing Trevor Lawrence improve, probably because of Liam Cohen, do you think we can bring in somebody new to help CJ reach the level we want him to reach, even if it's a new QB coach? Well, there was an article by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that actually, funny enough, mentioned Texans quarterback coach Gerard Johnson being in some talks about, possibly being an OC for another team this year. We'll have to see what happens with that. But I wouldn't mind bringing in somebody to help CJ Stroud's development as well. Another quarterback coach, another quarterback guru, another, person to maybe be a passing game coordinator for this Texans team to help him out a little bit more. I don't want a new offensive coordinator because I do think Bobby Slowick has improved steadily throughout the year. Like we've seen, I think the offense every single week throughout this season has gotten a little bit better and better and better. The first 3 or 4 weeks it was putrid, and then since then, like I said, I think it's been a little bit better each and every single week. So bringing in another QB coach, another passing game coordinator, I'm 100% for. I don't know necessarily who the Texans could bring in. We'll have to see kind of after the dust settles, right? Because we'll have to be able to get a guy who maybe didn't get the job that he wanted. Maybe he was going after a head coach or an OC vacancy and, he didn't get that job. So not saying like the leftovers, but we'll have to see who's available after all these head coaching vacancies go through, because as it stands right now, at the time that I'm filming this on Wednesday, there are 9 head coaching vacancies in the NFL. We'll have to see who ends up filling those positions and who could possibly, help out the Houston Texans down the road. The one name that comes to my mind right now is I know the Bucs fired their OC. I believe his name was Grizzard. So he could possibly be a name to look at, but, that's just me picking out a random name out of the top of my head. I'd have to do a little bit more research on that, Shaggy. Melendez Era says, should the Texans sign another wide receiver this offseason? I actually don't think so, because you kind of already are getting a signing this offseason by Tank Dell coming back. Tank Dell, by all accounts, is healthy and is out there practicing, running around, not practicing, but out there running around, doing drills on his own and, working out. And I think, is he ready to go right now? Possibly. I think, physically, could he go out there on the field? Yes. But I don't think it would be fair to Tank Dell or to this team to throw him out there right now, because you're having a guy who hasn't played a single snap this season. You immediately thrust him into, the playoff pressure, win or go home situations where it's like you can't drop a ball. And in his first games back, he might be a little rusty. He might be, need some time to acclimate to the NFL speed once again. And we'll all be pissed if Tank Dell goes out there and drops 2 balls, which I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's fair to him. I don't think it's fair to this Texans team. But this offseason, I fully expect Tank Dell to be ready to go, fully suited up, ready to go in August. God willing, and make everything that goes good this offseason. He doesn't, have any bumps in the road. But I expect us to get Tank Dell back this offseason going into next year. And then you have, 2 guys you drafted this year in Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. You still have Nico Collins under contract. So out of all the positions, I'd rather us focus on the trenches, getting more defensive tackle help, getting more interior offensive line help, and also getting some safety depth and corner depth in the draft and in free agency. That's what I would worry about more rather than getting another wide receiver. That's just me in my opinion, though. That's just me. Maxwell Smith said, hashtag Texans. Can the Texans still get a home game? Yes. The Texans can still have a home game. What we need to do, which I'll probably make a video on Saturday or Sunday morning, depending on what happens. Depending on what happens with the Broncos-Bills game. If the Bills win on Saturday, that means if the Texans win on Sunday, it's an AFC championship game in Houston because the Texans are a higher seed than the Buffalo Bills. Now, if the Broncos win on Saturday, it's kind of a moot point. They're the number 1 seed, so they will be hosting the AFC Championship game. But if the Bills win on Saturday, I think we're all Bills fans on Saturday. If the Bills win on Saturday, the winner of Patriots-Texans will be hosting the AFC Championship game. So we all need to be really, really focused on that Saturday game between the Broncos and the Bills. Next up, Joe K. Will the Texans win because of or despite CJ? I'm going to say neither, right? Like, I think the Texans win because of their defense. And CJ Stroud is just another layer to this team to add on to that, right? Like, do I think the Texans will win because of CJ Stroud? Not necessarily. Like, I don't know how you can say that after his performance this past week up against the Steelers where, if we're being honest, it wasn't his best game. It wasn't his best game for sure. But C.J. Stroud has played well in the playoffs. Last year, I thought he played pretty well in the 2 playoff games against the Chiefs and the Chargers. The year before that, Ravens not so good. But, that first game against the Browns, he was spectacular. I think Stroud, he just needs to play his game. And everybody talks about game manager like it's a bad thing. Everybody uses game manager like it's an insult, like it's a put down. Being able to manage the game is a huge skill to have because managing the game means you have it up here. You know when you need to try to go, Superman, make a play and try to, throw it across your body and make something happen. And you also know when it's better to say, hey, let's give up, live to fight another down. I'll take the sack. I'll throw it away. I'll do this, that, here, or the other, right? Game manager, it gets a bad connotation with it. I heard Cam Newton talking about, being a game manager and being a bad thing. Maybe if Cam Newton was a game manager, they would have won a Super Bowl, right? Like, and I'm not saying Cam Newton, anything bad on him, but sometimes being a game manager isn't necessarily a bad thing. We've seen teams get to Super Bowls, teams win Super Bowls with not the best quarterback in the league. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind, Joe Flacco. Was he ever the top 2, top 3 best quarterback in the NFL? No. But did he make smart plays? Did he make good decisions in the playoffs? And did he play his brand of football leading in to a Super Bowl win? Yeah, he did. He ended up winning a Super Bowl MVP, which I do think, the Texans fan in me and the bias in me a little snubbed for Jacoby Jones. He had a return touchdown for the Ravens in that Super Bowl. He also had an insane catch, RIP to the real one, Jacoby Jones. But still, like I said, being a game manager, not a bad thing. If C.J. Stroud can just manage the game, play smart, and make the big plays, make the big throws like he did at certain points against the Steelers, I think the Texans will be just fine. That's all I have for you on today's mailbag, folks. If you made it to the end of the show, well, we're doing something right. Obviously, I kept you a little bit entertained today. Make sure you go down, hit that subscribe button, and help us beat our Patriots channel. We're in a sub battle with them right now. I am not going to lose to Mr. Brett Alper. So if you haven't already, go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free, and you get Texans videos every single day. All right. Jason Dixon, they can't handle this D. Nice. Jason Dixon getting a couple raffle tickets in as well. I'm just kind of doing some housekeeping really quick, making sure that we get all of the tickets in that have been sent in. I also saw Melinda getting in on Cash App. Melinda, I did get your sending it in. I got you, Melinda. 10 tickets for you, the Queen of Texans today. And then Joe, let me make sure I get your. And Melinda, just for good measure, sends another $10 super chat in. She said, "I'm gonna try to win that." She said, "I'm gonna try to win that Brian Cushing autograph picture as well." But I mean, Melinda, absolute real one. She won the Arian Foster autograph picture. She actually gave it away to another Texans fan in the chat, the pastor, iChurch Cafe, an absolute real one in the building. So. Harrison said, damn, I didn't make it into the cut for the mailbag. I'll read your question right here. Harrison it says, hashtag Texans, favorite Texans playoff game. For me, it's probably the Browns game when the Texans blew them out. I agree. That game was awesome. But for me, the best Texans playoff game of all time has to be that first one, right? Up against the Bengals, Arian Foster, my favorite Texans player of all time. He had himself a day, I believe, getting over like 130, 140 rushing yards up against the Bengals. J.J. Watt had that interception for a touchdown. So if I'm talking about my like all-time favorite Texans playoff game, I think it'll be the first one up against the Bengals, in my opinion. But that Browns one was awesome. Don't get me wrong. That Browns game was freaking awesome. Mario, they'll know what it feels like to be stung by the swarm. I'm ready. Melinda says, win, Texans, win. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm ready to go. Let me know, how long have you been a Texans fan down below in the chat? And one more time, just because I'll make sure that I'll make sure that there haven't been any more sales. I'm messaging our guy Arnold. If you want to get tickets and get our new Swarm Patrol t-shirt, I'll put the link in there one more time. Bada Bing says since 2002, an OG right there. The new Swarm Patrol t-shirts. If you want to get one of these and get a raffle ticket for the Brian Cushing autograph picture, you get the shirt today, I'm going to give you 5 raffle tickets for our raffle on Sunday. So I saw Hector got in, Bradley got one, Dominique got one. If you want to kind of 2 birds, 1 stone, get a t-shirt and get raffle tickets at the same time, it'll also help us out a ton. Obviously, if you don't like the t-shirt, you don't have to get it. But if you do, it would help us out a ton if you were able to, go purchase this bad boy, get some raffle tickets. Okay, he said those 3 were the only ones so far. So I'll make Lucy Love, what is the game streaming on Sunday? I believe ESPN. ESPN and ABC is where they're streaming the games on Sunday. All good. Arnold said, we've sold 3 today so far, so I'll give y'all one more chance. And even after today's live show, if you go ahead and buy one, I told my guy Arnold, all throughout today, if you buy one today at all, I'll give you those 5 raffle tickets for the Arian Foster raffle on Sunday. So it would help us out a ton. Alberto, Broncos or Bills? I want the Bills to win, because if the Bills win, that means the Texans have a chance to host the AFC Championship game if they beat the Patriots on Sunday. Brendan says, can you answer my question? Yeah, give me 1 second, Brendan. Let me scroll up and find it for you. Okay. Thank you, Producer Jack. How would I compare this defense to the Legion of Boom? I think it's right up there, right? Like, the Legion of Boom was really good, but I don't think it's like, imagine if the Legion of Boom had a pass rush that was twice as good, right? Like, who are the Legion? Let me look up the Legion of Boom is what, the 2015 Seahawks? Let me see, 2015 Seahawks, I would believe, right? On defense, yeah. Their pass rushers, Michael Bennett was good. Cliff Averill, good. But their leading sack getter for the Seahawks that year was Michael Bennett with 10. The next guy, Cliff Averill with 9, and then Bruce Irvin had 5. This Texans defense had Danielle Hunter, who had 14, and Will Anderson, who had 12.5. So, and that's not even counting the guys on the dude. Our backup defensive end had 5.5. Derek Barnett. Like, this defense, the pass rush that we have is 10 times better than what they had with the Legion of Boom. Now, you can argue, obviously their secondary, I would say their linebackers might be, Bobby Azeez Al-Shire is awesome, but I think Bobby Wagner is, like Hall of Fame level guy. I don't know if Azeez Al-Shire is there yet. And then you had a little bit more like physical guys on the back end with Cam Chancellor. But I mean, I would say this Texans defense stacks up and is better than the Legion of Boom. And if you ask Richard Sherman, other guys on this Seahawks team, they might agree. Nothing to take away from them. You know, the Seahawks that year, they were fantastic. But this Texans defense, man, this might be the best defense that we've seen in the NFL since the year 2000. Since the 2000 Ravens that had Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and all those guys, Terrell Suggs. This might be the best defense that we've seen. So, oh my, Melinda said, I love the shirt so much, I just bought another. Melinda getting more raffle tickets in. Oh my, that's why she's the queen here at Texans today. That's why she is the queen here at Texans today. Azar Real, Chuggs, Canes or Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A, and it's not close. Canes, I love cane sauce, but I'll say it. I think the tenders are mid. I think they lack a little seasoning. The sauce carries by far. Honestly, my two favorite things from Canes aren't even the tenders. It's the sauce and the toast. So no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade towards Canes. I'll eat. My wife loves Canes. She's a Canes fanatic. But if you're asking me, I'd much rather have Chick-fil-A. And yeah, bada bing, exactly. Texas is a Whataburger state anyway. So, and weirdly enough, I grew up on Whataburger chicken strips with the gravy. Whataburger chicken strips with the gravy, dip the fries and toast in a little bit of gravy action. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, that's all I have for you on today's show, unless we have any more food-related questions. Appreciate you, as always, Melinda. All good. She got another T-shirt. I'll put the link. Yeah, Cane's super expensive as well. I'll put the link for the T-shirt in the chat. If you know anybody that is a huge Texans fan, send them the link and see if they want a T-shirt as well. You know, like this community, this is what helps grow this channel as much as it has so far. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for y'all amazing fans out there, this amazing community here at Texans Today, the best Texans community on YouTube. So if you've already bought a shirt, you know, maybe send it to somebody who else you know is a Texans fan. If you know, Azar Real says, wait. You know, if you like the shirt, go ahead and buy it. If you know somebody that would, tell a friend to tell a friend. So thank you guys so much for helping out with that. Melinda says, remember the Battle Red next time. I got you. I'm working with our guy Arnold to possibly make another T-shirt, and the Battle Red is definitely in consideration. Azariel said, bro, you're goated. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody checking in today on our Wednesday live show. For me, the Chat Sports crew, Mr. Jack Lauderay on the ones and twos. This has been Texans Today Live. The next time you'll see me live, Sunday. Divisional round matchup up against the New England Patriots. Let's see how we do. And hopefully it'll be a good day to have a good day here on Sunday as me and my guy Loco Lopez are going live an hour before kickoff. I hope to see you all there.
Getting ready for some football, some Texans Today party.